So that's very helpful to the student that we would have in further education. And really, I suppose, you might want to do loads of things, but you have to think of the end bit, I suppose, is to get people to have that little piece of paper, because someone out there, when they go to look for their job or whatever, will really, that's what they look for, I suppose. Well, partly, it'll be a big part of maybe what they look for, and that's not everybody will, but I think these days it is a bit like that, because there's lots of people vying for the jobs, or for spaces to work. So if you have your piece of paper that says, well, I've sat and I've done this, I've studied it, I've tried my best, I've gotten whatever, a merit, or I've passed it, I have actually started something and finished it, so that'll give them an extra little lift, when they're out there in the community. And again, it's not all about jobs either. It's about, I suppose, for some that come, parents, or they're there because they want to learn to read better. They have kids in school and they're motivated to come for that. So they will come and, they make it, they get better. I know in our Clara we have the family learning, which we forgot about. The family learning program's another part of our service. And it is that, it's family orientated, and I think there, in the last, over the last 2.5 years, parents have come, and they're sitting their junior cert maths this year. 6 or 7. Yeah. So they must feel really good.
Definitely.
Yes. And their kids will be very proud of them as well. And it's amazing, all right. How easy, how good can it be? I suppose for the parent who sits here to say, oh yeah, I know how that goes. I know how junior cert exam is. You go in and you get, so don't worry about it, it's fine.
That's great.
So that must be great for family, parents and kids.
Yes.
Sometimes it's about, I know, because in the beginning it was so difficult to bring people into it, because we knew, of course, it would be wonderful. Yes. But it's that it's that thing again of just getting people to come and wait for a little bit. Don't run away straight away. Just wait for because it can only get better.
That's right.
It can only open up.
Yeah, great.
So I don't know. Did I?
Oh, you did. Yes, that's great, Marina. Yeah. So you've just mentioned Clara. So there's other. Do you call them outreach centres or whatever?
Yes, okay.
Yeah, if there's no, that's okay, because I was coming to it.
All right, okay.
You're okay. I'm going to ask you now. Don't worry.
Anyway.
So, can you talk about some of those, because some of the tutors obviously work in other centres that are linked here, and can you maybe talk about them and maybe some of the programmes that are happening?
Yeah, well, I suppose they mirror a lot of what goes on here. I suppose so. You have your Clara, your Banagher, your Burr, Eden Derry. What's that, 4 or 5? And again, I suppose that's back to resources. And I know Eden Derry is wonderful because it has its further education centre, pod, hub, or whatever. So that's great. And I know Mary, the tutor there, takes care. She's a link person there. So it means that Alison and myself don't have to be going, to Mish, because Mary is the link person there, and she will oversee that and manage it, and the resources there, the place, the building. Banagher, another, the resource, the building is there, and that's fine. And I think Andrew is a link person there, so that's good. Burr, even though it's large, it's bigger of the 3 places, I suppose. It's more difficult to get a space, and I'm just in the throes of trying to organise somebody who wants to do reading, and we're trying to make it so that a new voluntary tutor actually will start to work on that. But even though we have the outdoor education centre and that, it's very difficult to get space. And I know before we used to have a room.
We did.
But that's gone. It's gone to something else. So the parish centre there, actually, Fair Play, they do give us space, but I know our tutors have said on occasion, and it's nothing to do with the people in it, it's just that it's restricted time-wise, I think, and it's small, and it can be busy with parish people going in and out anyway. So that's not the best. And again, when you're talking about voluntary tutors and people coming, being shy or being, being worried around or ashamed of their situation, it's really not good. It's not good, no, because they won't, So that's an issue there, all right, for outreach in Bar. It is an issue. And I know that Colin was looking at it too, but again, there's just so many things that go on, so we'll have to come back to it.
Yes.
Yeah. And again, as I say, it's computer and lots of computer work, because that's again what people look for. There's the reading and the writing, apps, computers, maybe interpersonal skills, communications, if people are ready for that. Again, they're core subjects, I suppose, and voluntary.
Yes.
Which is, again, very core. Sure, it's ABC, in that sense.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
Right.
So you've a lot that you look after, really.
Well, yes, it's a bit heady. Yes. We have to do, I have to chart it, because if I don't, I just, But we have loads of them too. Charts and timetables and Yes.
Oh, endless amounts of those,
Yeah.
Marina. That's right.
Yeah.
So you were saying, Marina, that yourself and Alison you just probably wouldn't have the time to visit those centres, but as you say, you have your key people there.
Yes, the key people are there and they're wonderful. Yeah, Now, we have gone on occasion, and we were just talking about it recently, that we will go back, because I know we talked about it about 2 years ago, but lots of things were happening. PLSS was introducing itself, forms for students, and there were lots of a few changes happening in the administration end, and it just sort of engulfed, you can't be the creative, wonderful, all this programming and stuff, and keep the admin, because that has to be kept, because you've people coming back to you saying, look, there's bits missing, or the system has to be kept updated. If students leave, we have to know why, and it has to be dated, and don't leave them hanging around there, because, I suppose you could have somebody, I don't know, you could have somebody just taking care of that PLSS system. Because, it works. It's wonderful. It's great. You have lots of information there to hand. But keeping it does tend to take your time. Now, we have gone out maybe an evening, because the centre here is open wonderfully on an evening. Tuesdays, 2 evenings a week, from 6 to 9:30, I think. And the outreach, Edenderry and Bar and Banagher, they're also open on maybe an odd evening in the week too. And, on occasion we have gone there to outreach, specifically I suppose on certification nights, awards, because that's very important as well.
Yes.
I know we have a big one here, again, with all the services involved, which is lovely. I think it has worked. I think it works. But some of our groupings then might be just our special needs. We have special needs programs as well, which is that has grown a little bit too. People are really wanting to come and to engage